Good morning to all of you from all of us here in Julian Campbell's Foundation. And the purpose of today's video is to talk about 3 things that we can do to support our children and young people during the exam season. And with particular reference to some parents that have come to us with advice, because at this moment, next week it's April. Coursework has been due in, and I'm talking with specific reference to year 10s and year 11s. However, it can apply for younger people, and definitely apply for older people. So let's just focus on year 10s who have 2 terms left, excluding this one because we finish our spring term next Friday. And then there's the summer term and then the autumn term. And this time next year, our year 10s who are aged around 15 years old, they are in their exam season. So what can we do to support them? So a lot of parents are speaking right now about how they prepare the environment for the young people. And what we see is a lot of young people are using their Xboxes, they're using their mobile phones. And, how can parents support young people in this way? So what we do is really provide the backdrop. So giving them ways to manage their anxiety, to manage their self-confidence. So making sure that we are providing a framework for healthy habits. And when I say that, just making sure that our young people are sleeping at good times. So we're talking about 9 or 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, they need to be in bed because our young people need about 8 hours of sleep. When they're sleeping, their brains are regenerating, processing everything that they've learned, everything that they have, that they've processed during the day. So that sleep is really, really important. When they don't get the sleep, and they're going to bed about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning because they've been doing specific things on their games, maybe on their mobile phones, it is difficult for them to concentrate and focus in the morning. So what we want to do is encourage healthy habits, making sure that we are encouraging constructive hours of sleep, that the food is nutritious, and also as well, like eating together. Eating together, research shows that families are eating together, that the young people in these families are more likely to be healthy, more likely to achieve well, more likely or less likely to go into to drugs or be led astray. Because what's happening in this time, in this family time, is that we as adults, we are modeling behavior. It's great for a young person to talk and process their day. In actual fact, it's great for everybody to talk and process their day. Our children are learning from us how to manage their mental health and well-being, how to manage stressful events. So it's just really great for us as adults to set up that environment, a healthy environment for our young people. So what else can we do? So speaking about what's going on in schools, it's really good to make sure that our young person has a revision timetable. So we've got 2 terms left and then the exams. So a revision timetable that's healthy, robust, isn't just like revision. Then it's not kind of like no revision at all. Something that's balanced, where young people are learning actively. When I say actively, I mean that they are checking, that they're doing something active with what they're learning, because I'm still hearing of young people sitting down with books and just looking at the books and reading the books. This isn't active. Something active, for example, would be looking at exam papers. And, you've got the topic there, you've got the exam papers, then you can even use your books. They can use their books to answer the topics, because what's going on is that they are learning how to answer exams. And this can really make a difference between one level and the next. It can, just to be able to have that exam experience, to be able to answer exams well, can really make the difference there. And that's something that needs to be done now, not next year. When I say next year, when they return into year 11. So therefore, we've talked about the first thing, making sure that there's a healthy environment for our young people, that the sleep times and activity times are supported. And the second thing as well, just making sure that they've got a revision schedule, that they're seeing their friends, that it's balanced with activities that they like, and also as well exercise. This is really, really important to make sure you've got that balance, and making sure that you're exercising as well, that you're modeling it. And also as well, like when you've got dinner, when you're having dinner, not to have the mobiles there, because the mobiles there just take away from the conversation. Ban the mobiles, your mobile as well, because you really want to speak with the young person, find out what they're dealing with, and offer some support. And research shows this is far more constructive, and young people that have at least 4 to 5 meals as a family a week, these are the ones that really, really do achieve well. So let's talk about the practical strategies now, because we're talking about practical strategies. We talked about the active revision. It's really good for a young person to be able to complete exam papers and practice that way. Also as well, it's important for our young people to study alone, but also as a group. Because here's the thing, if they've got a group of 3 or 4 of them, the one can revise one topic, and each of them are charged with revising very well a topic. And then they come together because they realize then that they know how well they understand the topic, because they can explain it very well to somebody else. And this actually saves time for all of the young people. So imagine, so you are one of 4 young people, you revise, maybe I used to be a science teacher, so you revise photosynthesis, I revise respiration, and then the other 2 are revising something else with the sciences, maybe electrical circuits or electromagnetivity, and then we get together and we explain everything clearly, and then we can do some past exam questions as well. This is really, really good way to show our young people, and they're learning much more, and it's collaborative. And what we're doing when we are showcasing methods of learning, our young people are going to use these methods for the rest of their lives. So when they go and take their A levels, or they go to do their degree, and they're in their work environment and they are learning information, it's really good to set things up. So today we're talking about 3 things that we can put in place to support our young people. We're focusing on year 10s because they've got 2 terms left until they take their exams. What 3 things can we do to support our young people? So first of all, making sure that we have that environment, that it's a calm environment, that we're encouraging them to go to bed early. They need at least 8 hours of sleep a night to be able to process all that information that they're learning throughout the day. Making sure that there's meals together that are being eaten, no phones there. And you are the model for your young persons. They're seeing how to manage their mood from you and the way that you manage your mood. And it's also great as well to have those family meals together, to be able to talk and share what you're dealing with. So having that structure, that emotional support, and healthy habits as well, with the eating and the nutrition, that's really, really good. And then the practical things that we can do is just really supporting them, making sure they've got a timetable that from now until the end of this year. So that would be from now until December, because it would be around December 2025 or January 2026 that a lot of our young people take their mocks. So we're talking about a good 8 months of consistent support, active revision, meeting up as groups and having a balance in their life, making sure that they're doing things as well on a weekly basis. They're getting out there, they're doing some kind of exercise, they've got their hobbies as well. So these are the practical strategies. These are the things that we can do as adults to support our young people. Always have that listening ear. And it's easy for us to say, yeah, when I was your age, and start telling. And also really, which is more important, is really listening to what they're dealing with and how can we help. Because a problem shared is a problem halved. And we have mentors at our organization, Julian Campbell Foundation, and our mentors are they're mood mentors, so they help young people manage their mental health and well-being, and help them develop strategies to manage their mental health and well-being, which is a really, really good thing for our young people. So today we've looked at 3 things that we can do as adults to support our young people coming up for exams. And this is especially as well because we have young people and we have parents that are talking about their concerns, like, their young people are on social media quite a lot. What do they do? They're on their Xbox a lot. What do they do? And, please do. I mean, what I would say is that a mobile phone, like an internet, 2 hours maximum in a week time, and at a weekend 3 hours a week maximum, because any longer than that and it just they're getting a lot of dopamine, which is flooding their brain, and it's an oversurge of dopamine, and they don't know quite what to do with it because their brains aren't developed enough. So it really does need to be managed, and so as many activities with family and with friends as possible, because we really need that human contact. A lot of our young people are still kind of like struggling actually since the pandemic from the lockdown. So getting them out amongst people as much as possible is a real help, in addition to that structure, so they can learn without any stress now. Some parents worry about how the content of the information. I would say that it's much better to learn 60% of the GCSE very well rather than 100% in a shallow way. Because here's the thing, when you've got 60% and you're learning it actively, you're doing the exam questions, you're with your friends and you're teaching each other, and you have that depth, what happens is that even if another topic turns up in the exam, you have something that you can transfer from one domain to the other. Because with science, for example, the information may be different, but what you apply, the knowledge, is more or less the same. So it's not really about the content, it's about the context. So thank you for watching this video. If you've got any more questions, this is a weekly live, and if you do have any specific questions, please do inbox me. If you would like the support of any of our mentors who now, since the pandemic, we're not only in schools but we're on in video calls as well, then please do contact us. So thank you for watching this video. Wishing you all an amazing weekend, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.